Well, January is Rescue a Bird Month, and we are talking a little bit today about the bird basics. Thanks to our friends at Clark's Pet Emporium. You all know Rachael Pridham. Happy New Year, Rachel.
Happy New Year.
Good to see you here. Your hair looks funky today. I like it. And today she actually brought us a guest, and actually a couple guests. We've got Carol Shafer, president of the New Mexico Bird Club. Welcome, Carol.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing Little One. That is the name of our other guest, that cute little bird. So please tell us about Little One.
Okay. Little One is a bird that was found out in the wild.
Okay.
And rescued. It was almost dead.
Great.
And now it's back to nature. We're trying to find its owners.
Oh, wow. So cute. Now, what kind of bird is Little One?
Little One is a cockatiel.
Okay.
It's a male.
Okay.
And he's healthy and very active.
He's very good. He's very well behaved on the television set, I must say. But much the same as any other living creature, you know, birds really do have behavioral problems, I will say, and I think that's why people sometimes give up on them. Is that true?
That's true.
And what kind of behavioral problems, I mean, do you see the most that cause people to be so hesitant sometimes?
Screaming, demanding a lot of attention.
Like people.
Yeah. I have a cockatoo that demands quite frequently. If you don't pay enough attention to him, he will scream and throw a temper tantrum.
Oh, wow. So how do you combat that? What do you do?
I just go and try and talk to him and calm him down.
Okay. Well, you know, we want to explain enrichment a little bit, because enrichment is something that's important. What does that mean to the bird brain? Pardon the expression.
Well, enrichment... in the wild, birds are going to be foraging for most of the day.
Okay.
They're going to have to sit there and work for their food. So a lot of times puzzle toys are really excellent. We do have a couple right here. This is one of my favorite toys. You can fill this with all sorts of stuff. You can fill it with shredded paper.
Oh, really?
That they'll love to just tear up. You can fill it with fresh fruits and vegetables.
You're kidding.
Nuts, seeds, anything that they really like. Cooked pasta.
Wow. See, now
Yeah,
I only thought that birds ate seeds, but you've definitely enlightened me on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Pasta for birds?
Definitely.
Is that a little Italian over there? Hello, Mom. Just some Italian.
That's actually, that's a pretty common misconception, is that birds only eat seed, but really they benefit most from a varied diet. Fresh fruits and vegetables, legumes like lentils and beans, yeah, pasta, all sorts of things. Pellet diets are actually really good because it uses kind of the same concept as a dog food, where it's the complete diet. But once again, we suggest that that's just an addition to a very varied diet.
Okay. Now, is this for all birds or just any specific birds in general? Do they all have the same kind of diet needs?
They all have different diets, but
Okay.
there's the basics. You can give them fresh lettuce and the vegetables and the fruits. Just try out each bird and see what they like. Even the small finch eats fresh
Really?
vegetables and fruits, yes.
I'm really surprised about this. Now,
And hard-boiled eggs.
ooh, I love hard-boiled eggs. That's good. So me and the birds have the same choices.
Yeah.
Clearly. Do you have to chop the food up really small? I mean, I would imagine, right?
Depending on the size of the bird.
Okay.
For the finches and stuff, I grind the food for them in a food processor and chop the eggs up real fine. The larger birds, you can give them regular chunks and stuff.
I feel so enlightened. I think that's something a lot when people are deciding they want to have a bird too, to know, well, you know, we can feed them a lot, and that actually will probably save them money in the long run because they can feed food that they already would buy for themselves anyway.
Right.
Right.
So that's really cool. Now, Carol, if you could tell us a little bit more about the Bird Club's adoption mission, I think that would be really interesting to people.
We take in birds from various people, give them up they're moving out of town and they can't take them with them, or someone died and the birds need to be rescued.
Oh, wow.
We go and have an adoption program where we hold them, evaluate them, and then we put them up for adoption. We try to fit them with the right home.
Aw.
And main thing is to know the age of how long the bird lives, what they eat, what size cage you need for them. This is just a travel cage for them.
Okay. Oh, so that's not what you would keep in your home?
No, this is not what you keep in your home. This is just for traveling to and from someplace.
Okay. And if they come into the store, if they come into Clark's, could they see the differences in what to use for travel versus what to live for living at home?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
So,
this is something we would only suggest for travel, not long term.
Okay.
A cockatiel is going to need something about 4 times that size at least.
do you find that there's one bird in particular that people seem to request the most?
Probably cockatiels because
Really?
they're so versatile. They can pick up on whistling tunes pretty well. They're
Really?
they're smart, but they're not quite as long-lived as some of the larger parrots.
Okay.
So.
Your commitment's not that long with them. They are extremely smart. They could talk, some of them.
Really?
Yes, I've got a pair that say, "Praise you, Jesus."
Oh, really?
Thank you, Jesus.
I love it. How fun is that?
But,
I would love to hear that one of these days. You have to get a little recording and bring it on. Thank you, Jesus.
These are also kind of birds that you can pick up. The finches and the canaries, and those are ones you don't have to deal with and hold and what have you. Less time consuming on your part. The bigger the bird, the more time you have to spend with them and occupy them.
Interesting.
The rule of thumb is it's 1.5 times their wingspan for the size cage.
Oh,
So
really?
and most birds you want the flight
Okay.
and not the height so much.
Okay. Good information. I have a question also about when you are deciding to buy a bird, if you do want one. I know a lot of times with dogs, you'll say, maybe I'll get 2 because then they have a companion, or with cats. But so what about with birds? Is it more of a problem to have more than one?
If you want to have a pet bird, you want to keep it separate because
Okay.
that way it'll bond with you.
Okay.
If you don't want to spend that much time with it and it's going to be alone a lot,
Right.
you'd want to get a companion for it.
Okay, good
Because they
point.
do like to have somebody with them to keep them occupied.
Absolutely. Well, let's put up the information about the Bird Club meetings because I want people to be able to know that they can go on the second Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m. at the Community of Christ Church at 4701 Wantabeau. Now, that is north of Montgomery on the west side of the street, and the number to call is 232-8398, and of course you can see the website right on our screen as well. Now, Rachel, let's also talk about some of the birds that you guys have been selling over at Clark's and what people are coming in and asking about, because I know a lot of people for the new year want to get a new lease on life, not just with working out, but also with a new pet.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, really, it comes down to what that person is willing to commit to.
Sure.
Well, yeah, we've talked about this before.
Oh, yeah. Commitment. It's a real commitment.
Yeah, and just like Carol was saying, a larger bird is going to be a longer commitment. Some of the smaller aviary birds, like canaries and finches, they don't take as much time or effort.
Okay.
Because they do their own thing. They don't really need your attention.
Right.
But it's something like a cockatiel is really probably one of the most popular birds because they are very versatile.
What's a typical lifespan?
About 20 years.
20 years. That's okay. That's good.
I have one that's over 20 years old right now. As long as they have good health, they'll live. They can live a little bit past 20.
And if you had to give 3 basic tips on how to keep them healthy, what would you say?
Oh, diet for sure.
Okay.
Also supplements.
Okay.
We have a large array of supplements. So.
Okay. And of course, a little attention is never going to hurt anybody. And of course, you can see exactly how to find Clark's Pet Emporium on the side of the screen. And I know that the viewers out there will know to go to you for all of their pet needs. Thank you both so much for being with us. As always, Rachel, we appreciate your time. And Carol, thank you. And little one, thank you so much for being with us today as well. We appreciate it very much having you here. And we've got a lot more coming up on the way here on New Mexico Style.